Hi, everyone. I have not been on here live in quite a while, so it's really glad to be back. I am here to discuss undeposited funds with everyone and to give you a little tutorial on how to handle an adjustment if there are undeposited funds laying around. So let me share my screen and we will get right into it. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Now, just remember, I'm not going to be able to see your comments right now. So as soon as we're done sharing the screen, it's not true. Let me move that over. Let's try this one more time. I had to move it over one. That way I can still see your comments. There we go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm in the sample company right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple of invoices and I'll show you why. So let's just pick some customers here. We're going to do Amy's Bird Sanctuary, but we're going to date this for 11/1/20. And who cares? We're going to say that they ordered 50 pounds, 50 concrete? Yeah, 50 pounds of concrete at $75 a pop. And we're going to save a new. And then we're going to do another one. This one is actually going to be dated 6/15/19. And we are going to put on, I should say installation. So 10 hours at $50 a piece. Save a new. And then one more. We're going to put in that. And this one is going to be dated for March 15th of this year. And actually, you know what? We're not even going to put that one in because we've already got a couple of them in here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into big deposits. And it's actually much simpler than what you initially think it is, because I just went through this a couple of months ago and was wondering the same thing. I had never found that anyone could have so much in undeposited funds. I mean, we're talking over $12 million in undeposited funds. And so they had to be cleared out somehow. And so what I did is I reached out to a couple of people and I said, hey, what is the quickest and easiest way of doing this so that I am not spending hours upon hours doing journal entries for companies or customers or anything like that, having to clear all of these things out. And actually, we skipped a step. And this is the easiest way. So let's receive a couple of payments here. So we did Amy's Bird Sanctuary. And we are just doing this one. And it was received, say, 12/15. And then we're going to save a new. And we've got another one for Cool Cars. And this one was received 8/1. Okay, now we can do our deposit. Come on, I went to save and close. Okay, so bank deposit. Now you'll see that we now have 3 things on here. Sorry, 4 things on here. I can't count today, apparently. And and so when you're looking at this, you have to think about your reports. The very first thing that you're going to think about is, okay, these funds have already been received, but yet in the actual reconciliation, there have been deposits. And maybe they don't match the deposits. Maybe there's something called a factoring company. Maybe there's a factoring company involved. And what a factoring company does is they specifically do the accounts receivable for a company that has a ton of it. So multi-million-dollar companies a lot of times will use them because they don't want to have to hire an entire staff just to take care of their accounts receivable. So that factoring company will take out their fees and quite possibly the sales tax off the top. But what is actually received is the net. It's the net deposit, the net income. The problem with that is that the income is now being understated, and so are the expenses. So by them not attaching the deposit to one of these, the actual bank deposit that's already sitting there, something that's already been received, you are now overstating your income if you're not clearing this out and you just simply add the deposits by themselves as standalones. So we need to get rid of those, but not just get rid of them. We also have to make sure that we adjust the income at the same time. And this is the reason why I put two different dates here. So when you're cleaning something up, you're never going to take anything out of income the next year, the year that you're in, for a prior year. You're never going to do that because it's going to take income out for a year that this doesn't exist. So we are going to do this. We're just checking off the 2019. And what you're going to do here, this one is actually going to be, there's two different accounts that you can use. Well, three different. There's retained earnings. There's also prior year adjustments. And there's something called a reconciliation adjustment. For this one, let's see if we actually have one. Nope. For this one, we're going to put it towards retained earnings because it's the sample company. We'd have to create brand new accounts for it. And then here, you are going to take this $500 and equal it out. So now you have a deposit of $500. It's putting everything into retained earnings and removing everything from undeposited funds. So when we click Save and New, now that deposit is complete. That receivable is no longer there. Now we're going to do the same thing for this. We're going to do it the same way. You are cleaning up, let's just say you've started with 2020, you're ending in 2021. We're going to change this date. So if we're cleaning up 2020 and that undeposited fund is still sitting there in 2020, then we can go on ahead and change this to the date of the last day of the month. This one is now going to be income. And who cares which one it is? Just pick one. Pick the one that they always use. And you're going to do the same thing. And so what that's doing is it's taking it out of undeposited funds and it's removing that additional income. Because when they accepted another deposit and it's a standalone, it went into income rather than taking that deposit and matching it, or not even taking the deposit first, but going into your bank deposits to see if there was something sitting there that needed to be deposited. Now, like I said, when you've got that factoring company, it's never going to match. Never. And so what you have to do in that case is you have to get statements from that factoring company so that you know exactly what the fees were and what the sales tax was if they took any. So That's the only way you're ever going to be able to match. But this is the easiest way. If you don't want to have to spend hours upon hours having to go through all of these undeposited funds, especially if there are a ton of them, and have to go line item by line item on a statement, a factoring company statement, or PayPal, or Stripe, or any of those companies, this is the easiest way to do it. You just clear out undeposited funds, you reduce your income so that it's no longer overstated, and you're now going to clear that out. And then, of course, you would do the same thing with both of these. When you have multiple undeposited funds for the same year, then just click on all of them. You don't even have to have the same month if you don't want to. If you are cleaning up a prior year, let's say this was already 2022. If you're cleaning up 2021, and let's say you've got 25 invoices or payments that are sitting in undeposited funds, click all of them. As long as they have a payment date or a received date of 2021, click on all of them and use the date 12/31. Now, if it is the current year and you have a ton of them to go through, you want to make sure that, oh, geez, my cat just jumped on the desk. If you don't want to have to go through an entire year and you need to go month by month, then go month by month. But for now, we're doing it for the entire year. And you're going to do the exact same thing. It's going to be income, and it's going to be for the total. That is undeposited funds in a nutshell. And excuse me. And sorry, my cats don't like each other most of the time. That is undeposited funds in a nutshell. And sorry for the little bit of commotion here. And that's how you take care of clearing one out. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to comment below, and I will answer all of your questions as soon as I can. Thank you.